everyone, welcome. I'm so happy to be live with you all on this Wednesday evening. I am a little late, I'm sorry guys, I was just recording videos for you all that will be available very soon tomorrow for members, and I will premiere them next week for everybody else. How's everybody doing today? I'm so happy to see you all. Let's see the comments. Hi, Bara, Tyson, Chippy, I like that. Oh, I love that flower, really pretty. Is that a hydrangea? What kind of flower is that? Bara says, hi, Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield would be interesting. You know, I thought about doing that. I thought about doing, just want to have some light. I thought about doing that. I did. I will think about it. I will think about it for sure. I think Emma Stone is in Aries, right? And Andrew Garfield is a Leo, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, it might be interesting. I don't really care too much for her acting, but I want to be non-biased, so maybe I'll consider it. Thank you so much for that. Hi Brianne, how are you? Always nice to see you. Hi, no like Tara, how are you? I'm well, thank you, very well. A lot, very busy, very busy with app stuff. But life is good. Life is very good. I'm actually planning a trip to New York in May. I have to get everything together. I know it's May, but I like to overplan. I'm a big overplanner. Okay. What else? Do I need to say anything? How are you, Brianne? How are you? How are you doing? Do I need to get any announcements out of the way? No. I'll get right into it. I'm going to be doing famous exes. I'm back to doing famous exes like I did before. We did many ones before. I used to do them a lot. Actually, I did them for like a year. And I think I did Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds, I think, before. But I need to go back and check if I did, because I've done so many videos, so many lives, I can't remember who I've done. A lot of you have to remind me who I've done. So if you all can remember, feel free to write in the comment section too. So I want to start off with the chart. I'm going to start with J-Lo. Actually, I'm going to pull up the banner. I want to start with J-Lo and Arod. And, you know, I recently said, let's see, let me read a comment before. Dan says, I'm doing great. I'm currently in an ice storm. Oh my gosh. I live in Miami, Florida, so I always forget that it's cold in parts of the country. I'm so sorry. I can't, the main reason I left New York was the cold. And I've been thinking about, because I'm like, I don't want to raise my kids in Miami, but I don't know where I would raise them. I ideally would like to go to New York, but the cold just drives me nuts. I can't do it. I get depressed. It was cold for about 2 weeks here. And by cold, I mean in the 40s. Below 50s and below. I mean, 50s and above, I'm fine. If you live in another country that's not the United States, 50 Fahrenheit is about 12. It's like early teens Celsius. So I can only really do that. Below 40s, oh my gosh, it affects my mood. I'm not the same person if I live in the cold. It's really hard. I get really depressed. So I empathize with you. I feel like people that live in the cold deserve a tax break. It's horrible. I'm much more than that's one of the things I like about living in LA. The hot weather. I cannot do cold. I just it's horrible. And I'm definitely more of like a summer sports person. I like jet skiing. I like hiking. I like just doing different summer sports things. Winter sports, you'll never catch me skiing. Can't stand skiing. I can't stand that. I can't stand cold things. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. So I empathize with you, and I send you lots of love, Ran. I feel for you deeply. So I want to do this famous exes live. I'm going to start off with Jennifer Lopez and Arod. Actually, Arod lives close to me, which is very funny. I saw him like a year ago walking past. It wasn't a year ago, it was a few months ago because it was in the summertime. I don't know, but he lives close to me, which is very funny because I live in Miami. So, I don't know, his energy didn't really, I don't really get any energy with him. But I've done many readings about them. I actually predicted that they would break up. I predicted when, and I predicted that she would end up with an ex after. But go back, actually, that's on my Instagram because before I started a YouTube channel, I used to do these on Instagram, and they became so popular that people were asking me. Specifically, one person DM'd me and said, "Start a YouTube channel." I was like, no. And then, thanks to them, I started a YouTube channel. But I did a video on J-Lo and Arod. I did a video on Emma DeGeneres, Britney Spears, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I did quite a few. Wendy Williams. So go back and watch. It was like 2020. So I wanted to do just an update about the energies towards one another. Most of these, all three of them, I've already done lots of videos on them. But this is just an energetic pickup. Actually, let me read the chart. I know that they're both Sun and Leos. And I actually want to get into astrology talk, especially about Leos. Because as much as I love Leos, I feel like... Sorry, somebody was calling me on my phone. As much as I love Leos, I feel like sometimes they can be very... This is my thing about... I have an Apple Watch, right? I just got one. And I feel the reason I resisted getting one for so long because I'm always available now. I know I could put on Do Not Disturb, and I probably should next time. But it's just like now I'm always at the mercy. I had to get one though for my job. I had to get one because I make apps and I need to keep up with this kind of stuff. But it's just so annoying to be at the beck and call technology. But sorry about that. So my thing about Leos, I love Leos, but sometimes Leos can be very me. And I see it a lot. It's very unfortunate, but I see it a lot in Leos. They can be very self-centered. It's a little annoying sometimes. But okay, so let's read his sign. His astrology chart. His sun is in Leo. His moon is in Pisces. I can't find his rising, but his north node is in Scorpio, which is very interesting. And his Venus is in Virgo. Okay, now let's read hers. Which kind of makes me think, I feel as though she or he, excuse me, with his sun in Leo, gives me the energy that, and Venus in Virgo, that things have to be his way. His way or the highway. I get that energy very strongly. Now let's do her. Okay, her sun is in Leo, moon is in Scorpio. Can't find rising. But North Node is in Pisces. My North Node is also in Pisces. And Venus is in Gemini. Venus is in Geminis, in general, get married a lot. I can't believe I never picked that up. I think I've said that before. Venus in Gemini, Venus in Libra, they get married a lot. They have a lot of makeups, breakups. I did say in one of my videos that I see the connection of her mother being the middle child, as I can relate, and the connection between her mother needing perfection from her has really stifled her personal growth and intimacy, her level of intimacy. I'm not her, but I can see myself through her because I'm a middle child. I'm not a Sun in Leo, but coming from a dance background, I can also see that. Being very disciplined and wanting to prove my worth through my work. You can definitely see that aspect. And I've had a lot of healing to do. I've been to therapy on and off since I was 9. And I don't have any shame in it, but I think she could use some therapy. I don't think she's been to therapy. It doesn't come across like she has, because she's still gives me the energy of she hasn't been told about herself. First time I went as an adult to therapy, I had just broken up off an engagement. And I don't want to get too much into the story, but it was I contributed a lot of the toxicity to that relationship. Both of us did, but I did too. And we ended up being friends. We're not friends anymore because he moved to another country. He moved back to his country. But I had to get real about myself. And my therapist told me about me, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel attacked. Because it was the first time that I had heard how I had contributed to a toxic relationship. And I don't think JLo has ever heard that. Just saying. So, yeah, so let's get into it. I just want to read this comment really quickly. Rihanna says, do you think that JLo is still in love with Arod? Let's find out. Let's find out. So let's see the energy. Okay, so with Page of Wands, the Strength, and Knight of Wands, it's almost like she competes with him. She wants to prove him. I have always suspected there was another woman in the situation, and she has this need to prove her worth. I think in general, because it's funny. Growing up, I never felt like a middle child, but when I got older, I felt like a middle child. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still a middle child. And middle child syndrome is so real. Every child syndrome is real, but middle child syndrome, needing to prove your worth. And I see here, she wants to prove that he's wrong for all her exes. And I think that's why she ends up from relationship to relationship to relationship. Because to her, and I think she's very emotionally immature, to her, being alone means being invaluable, excuse me. And it's something I'm telling you, I have definitely suffered from. It was only when I turned about 23, 24 that I felt like, hey, I can be alone and be happy and be okay. And it's sad that she's so much older and hasn't had that. But and I haven't been in a relationship for 2 years, and I feel so fulfilled in my life. There's things I want to accomplish, yes, but when it comes to self development, growth, being alone and happy, I really feel that way. And I don't think she has that because she's constantly trying to prove to everybody through materials, through facades, that I don't know how to explain it, but she's trying to prove something to somebody else instead of just living it herself. So let's see. Hi, Prairie Flower. Hi, everyone. Hi, how are you? Brianna says, I'm a middle child. My mother never made me want to be perfect. What do you mean by that? I just want you to elaborate. I don't really understand. You guys agree to each other. I love that. But yeah, so that's the energy that I strongly get, is that she's constantly proving. So every ex she has, she jumps into another relationship because she has to prove that the person before she was not the problem. But when you have to prove that, you are the problem because you have something to prove instead of just living it. And when I don't want to make this about myself, but I relate to it a lot. Because when I was in my early 20s, I would do that. I would jump from relationship to relationship. I was no angel. I messed up a lot. And there was a point in time where I had to get real with myself. Like I said, I went back to therapy. I did some real work on myself, and it wasn't pretty. I had to admit some things that I had done that I was ashamed of, and it wasn't nice. Hi, what about Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett? Yes, I had. Hi, Yvette. I had done one on them last year. I need to go back and look at, because I picked up cheating. I remember that because I mentioned it in a video. I picked up cheating. I picked up that Ryan Reynolds is not the faithful type. I definitely picked that up very strongly. My mother has 4 children. She wanted me to be the best that I could be for myself. I love that. I really love that. And I think it is important. I think even if parents mess up, most parents, I don't think, become parents, whether it's by choice or by accident, to ruin another child's life. But I mean, to ruin their child's life. But it's all about choices, and children look at choices. So if you as a parent are messing up, you know, then you're not going to be, they're going to see that. Children see that. So you have to be an example. Every form of leadership, you lead by example. You don't lead by telling people, because people are not going to listen to you if you don't do it yourself, you know? Um, yeah. So just putting that out there. So, yeah, so I see that she has a need to prove to him or her exes. So I don't think she loves him. I don't think she has really ever been in love. That's the energy that I pick up on. It's about facades for her, which I suppose that is narcissistic, but I don't know. Maybe because I met one of her children more than once and they were so sweet. I have a softness for JLo, but I like to humanize people that I do readings on. That's the point of it. I don't just want to say this person's bad. We can all learn. And as somebody who is imperfect, I'm still working on things in myself. I've done things that I can't even believe that I used to do stuff like that. Like being manipulative and being in toxic relationships, contributing to that. If I could grow and I could change, that's the whole point of this channel is growth, change, learning, and not from a hypocritical place, but from a place of understanding. And the only way to grow, I believe, is if we understand. And yeah, because it's like when parents tell you, don't do this, they don't explain to you why. You have to explain to people why. And that's how I've grown. I've grown by understanding why I did something versus why I shouldn't and the consequences of it. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay, so let's move on. If anybody has anything to say, we're going to move on to Selena and Justin Bieber. Before we do that, I'm going to share their charts. Okay, Selena Gomez. I know she's a Sun in Cancer. Okay, Sun in Cancer, Moon in Aries, and Rising in Leo. I can definitely see her rising in Leo. Her North Node is in Sagittarius. Interesting. Now let's look at his. Which I say this all the time about cancers that I've seen. Sun and Cancers definitely can suffer in love. And it's very unfortunate. I've seen that with a lot of famous cancers that I know. They really suffer in relationships because they put the other person first a lot. Like they make serious sacrifices. They're very quick to forgive, which is something I've learned from cancers, from water signs in general. I've learned a lot of forgiveness, compassion, empathy from water signs. They're very, very good at that. But they also need to learn to have boundaries. And I think that's something Selena Gomez struggles with. She struggles with setting boundaries. So let's see I know that he's Sun in Pisces, but I forgot the rest of his chart. Okay, Sun in Pisces, Moon in Libra, Rising in Scorpio. I can see the Rising in Scorpio, and North Node in Scorpio. Interesting. So let's see the energy between them. And please, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. I love when you guys ask questions and you interact with me in the chat. I really appreciate that. I need to get a moderator soon, actually. I was just thinking that. Okay, so let's see. I have done a lot of updates about the both of them in their own relationships that they are now, so check that out too. So I'm using the Good Tarot for this, and I get Temptation, Page of and Two of Fire. So I've always said this, I strongly believe that they will end up in each other's lives again, but I don't think it is for the purpose of a relationship again. I think that they will have a closure because they never really got closure. And I don't know, there's just something about relationships that I got closure on, relationships that I didn't get closure on, and the ones that I haven't, I've let go of the need to have closure. But the relationships that you have closure on, you feel fulfilled. And I think that's sometimes why people don't give you closure because they want to have that control over you. But there's always this temptation to reach out. And it's coming mostly from Justin's side. I can see that. Okay, so let's see. My birthday is March 2nd. Oh, happy birthday. It's coming soon. Oh my gosh, it's like 2 weeks, right? Happy birthday. The older I get, the more I love my birthdays. When I was a teenager, I used to hate my birthday because I just felt like, I don't know, it was depressing. But the older I get, the more I love my birthdays. Because, not everybody has them. So, Per Flower says, why do you think Justin unfollowed Benny Blanco? We'll get into that. I touched on it in a video that I did of him before, but like I said, I don't think that he's really over her. I really don't. And people keep saying, listen, I tell you guys this all the time. My thing that I invest my time in is reality TV. That's my entertainment. I don't really invest in celebrities' lives. It's not really, I'm not shaming anybody that does, but I don't have a team. I'm not team Justin, I'm not team Selena, I'm not team Benny. I'm just an observer and I pick up energy. And I think Justin is not really over her, and his ego made him marry Haley. I've always said that. I always felt that way between Justin and Selena. Which way? I'm curious to say. Hello, hi, Miss J. How are you? Nice to see you. I haven't seen you alive in a while. How have you been? It's been like a few months. So happy that you're here. Very, very happy. Everybody, please like the video. It really, really helps. I've just been saying this in general. I know lots of you have been around for a long time. And also, if you share the video to people that you think might like it, that helps me too. I really want to grow this channel, this community. Brianne, I'm good. How are you? I'm so good. Thank you. Very, very good. Lots of work to do, but life is great. The no closure part, yes. Oh yeah. 100%. Yes, the live you had a call. Oh, you called to the last minute. Okay. Oh, the last live. Oh, I'm sorry. Hope you rewatched it. I forgot what I did last. Oh, Hot Topics. Hot Topics. Well, it's great to see you. Very happy to see you. Okay, so Miss J, what's your sun sign? Because I get Earth energy from you. I get lots of Earth energy. So yeah, I just feel as though one day Justin is going to be mature enough to, yeah, 100% Prairie Flower. Did you watch my most popular video was of Justin and Selena, and I explained it that I feel like they're soulmates. I went through the whole thing, and Prairie Flower says what I agree with 100%. They seem like soulmates, but it wasn't meant to last 100%. And I truly believe in soul tribes because there isn't just that one. It takes so many. Like it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a village for every soul to feel welcome into Earth. If that makes any sense. Like I think we make agreements with other souls before we come into Earth. I think our siblings are soulmates. I definitely believe my sisters are my soulmates. I believe some exes I've had have been my soulmates. I believe, recently a friend that I love dearly who I had to let go of, he was one of my soulmates. So I really strongly believe that we have our soulmates. And sometimes we're so attached to those type of people. We're like, why am I so attached to this person? And yes, in modern psychology, we describe it as codependency. We describe it as so many other things, but the root of it is that we have this connection to this person and we don't know why, and whether it's healthy or whether it's not, we have to decide for ourselves. and choose those people to stick around. But there's a connection that you just share with certain people that is indescribable, and you don't know why. you know. Oh, you guys are talking in the chat. But your Taurus saying, yeah, I got Earth energy from you. That's Earth energy. Aries Moon, Virgo rising. Yeah, I can see that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, so that's what I see. I see about them that he is going to reach out to her. I saw that he's going to reach out to her about personal issue, and I believe it was the case he was in about 2-3 years ago. But when he's left his relationship, he's going to reach out to her. And he's going to apologize. And I applaud him. I always have a soft spot for Justin Bieber. I always have. People used to bully him and stuff. I defended him. I don't agree with everything he did. But you try being a teenager, somebody that was a troubled teenager. I can't even imagine being famous at that time, because I would have been cancelled at least 5 times. That's why I always defend children under 18, even late teens, early 20s that are famous. They're just misguided, and they need a hand. They need support. They don't need us to be judging them. So that's why I've always had such a fondness, and really I want to take care of him. I want to protect him, because I feel like there's so much potential, but he's just been so misguided. Like the way his parents treated him, they used him to make money. The Diddy thing. You could tell a lot of his behavior was just him crying for attention, which we've all done in different forms of ways. And I want us, one of the main reasons I started doing this channel was for us to get out of the judgment and into love. And trust me, I'm not always perfect at doing that. But I think as a society, all of us contributing to it, we can come more from a place of love than you should be like this. Why aren't you doing this? Why? More of understanding. Hey, I used to do that, and this is how I grew. And us sharing our stories with one another to grow and to fulfill our potential. So, if anybody has anything to say about that, I'm going to move on to the last couple. Oh, have you thought about doing live tarot readings for subscribers? That way, be a good way to grow channel and private readings. Just like, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. So I used to do that. I did that 2 years ago. Yeah, it was before I lived in this apartment, so 2 years ago. I might go back to doing it. It's a great idea. I do it now for members only. So once a month, I take questions from members and I do a membership live. But I'm open to it. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a great idea. I do think it's time I grow them. I've been working on other things too, so I haven't really been too focused on growing the channel. But it does help if everybody shares videos. If you know somebody, what really helped me a lot was Harry Styles' fan page used to share my stuff. What other fan page? Just a lot of fan pages would share my stuff. But the Harry Styles really took off, and they shared my stuff a lot. Especially with the Don't Worry Darling. That's when my channel doubled. But yeah, and that was actually when I was at my peak in terms of analytics. So sharing helps a lot if you guys can share. Even yeah. Yeah, good to know. How's the app going? App's going great. I just have to resubmit it to Apple. I'm gonna start doing freelance. So if you know anybody that needs an app made, I have my website up and it's ready to go. That's actually what I was working on today. So thank you for asking. I'm really doing what I love. I appreciate, and tarot too. My gosh, tarot is my first love. I've been reading tarot for how many years? But this is more of a passion and a talent rather than a skill. Even though it is a skill, I don't know if that makes any sense. Hi Gwendolyn, how are you? Wow, I haven't seen you live in a while. So nice to see you. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to do your all's favorite, most of you, Harry Styles and Taylor Swift. Well, Harry Styles. I wanted to revisit this because I feel as though everything has come out about Taylor Swift and her, you know, I believe it to be a PR relationship. And I did say that I strongly believe that Taylor Swift's dad is behind her relationship with Travis Kelsey. Um, Somebody posted the other day on Instagram, shout out to Joe Alwyn, who's never said one bad word about his famous ex. And I really love that. But I think it's a British thing too. British are not really big on stuff like that. I think culturally I grew up very British. So I have that kind of privacy thing. That's why I don't like to mention who I've dated that's famous. Only to my friends and family, but that's about it. Nice to see you, college class, kicking my butt. Oh, what do you mean? Like finishing school and everything. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy. Trust me, I wanted to. I wanted to quit so many times, but I pulled through somehow. But thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, so which deck should I use? I'm going to use Modern Wish Tarot because I haven't used this in a while. To do this, let's go through the charts first. So we'll start with Taylor. There is a video where someone pieced together Taylor and Travis's relationship. They got together to promote State Farm. Let me find it. Oh, yes, I saw that. Is that Melanie King, right? Melanie King? I love watching Melanie King. She's so cool. Yeah, I saw that. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I tell people this all the time. I don't want to talk too much about my ex because he is in PR and he's actually a very private person. But he would tell me all these tricks about PR and I'd just be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Crazy. Like, I cannot believe that. I don't think it's that energy that I picked up on is that I don't think it's State Farm. I think Travis is being paid by Taylor's dad because they were afraid Joe Alwyn was going to say something. Joe Alwyn, being a son of Pisces, being British, was always very secretive in general, not a man of many words. And because of that, they were afraid he was going to say something at some point. There's that person that's always quiet, and when they speak, everybody listens. So I think that's what they were afraid of. They were also afraid of any kind of retaliation from him, in case he had a song coming out. And she had a song coming out, and he wanted to reply. So they used Travis as a protection barrier for her to have these songs come out, and for Matt Healy and Joe Alwyn to not come out because they know that if they speak, people are going to listen. I don't know if that makes any sense. You said yes to Melanie King. I think that's her name. I watch her like every day. And I don't want to should like I'm a part of the hate Taylor vibe, but I feel that Taylor doesn't really know who she is as a person. I think she knows who she is from what people tell her who she is. Yes, I say this all the time about Sun and Sagittarius. She's Sun and Sagittarius. We'll get into her chart. They can be very lost people until they get older. Same thing, similar with Libra. Sun and Libras. They tell people they can kind of play both sides, tell people who they need to be. And it's funny because Travis is the Sun and Libra. I didn't even think about that when I said that. But they can go along for the show until they're like, who am I? That's why, people were talking about, I mean, I'm the same age as Taylor Swift. We're both 1989. I don't believe that age should determine what life lessons you learn. But there's certain things that she does that I don't want to say you should be mature at a certain age, but there is a time that you should be like, okay, if I want a healthy relationship by a certain age, I need to do the work. I need to do the serious work. And it doesn't seem to me like she's willing to reflect on her behavior in any situation, and that doesn't make for a healthy relationship. But she will be forced to very soon. And after that, that's when her relationship's going to come. And the relationship with Kelsey's not working, with Travis Kelsey's not working, exactly. I always want to call him Kelsey because I grew up with two Kelseys. I always want to say Kelsey. And they're both women. That's why I want to say Kelsey. I feel that way too, Miss J says. I think she does is what's expected of her and not what she truly wants. But most people in Hollywood do that because the term handler, your handlers determine what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. I think Taylor Swift's handler is her father, and he controls a lot of her career, a lot of the moves that are made for her. It's not really her, it's him behind everything. And until she breaks free from her dad, I've said this many, many times, until she breaks free from her dad, she will not be truly happy. Because, sometimes I see in pictures, and people say this about me because I have, like, doe eyes, that I look sad sometimes, but I'm not really sad, I'm just thinking, especially Aquarius, I'm, like, in another world. But with her, she really looks sad sometimes. And it's like this emptiness. And I see it even in the people that really follow her. I know a few people that are very Taylor people, and they have this like depression. Depression is not bad, but it's like because we've all had depression at some point in our lives. But it's this self-victimization that creates a fake sense of negativity. I don't know if that makes any sense. No, it makes any sense. But let me read some comments. Thanks, guys. You guys are on fire tonight. I love it. Miss J, she's a people pleaser. Yeah, Sagittarius are huge people pleasers, and that's why I broke up with my Sagittarius ex. I don't want to talk badly about him because he's a great guy, but the main reason I broke things off with my Sagittarius ex is that he was too much of a people pleaser, and I don't like. I love many great qualities he has, but people pleasing, I don't like. It's just not a good quality. Yup, it's definitely her dad. Yeah, I can see her. Uh, oh, by the way, Teresa, hi. How are you? Taylor needs someone that humbles her, 100%. 100%. I think Joe humbled her. Because she wasn't acting all out and about. And she can be out and about, that's Sagittarius nature. They love to be around people. But you could tell there was a humane side to her when they were together. Hi, Gwendolyn. I agree. She does come across as a people pleaser, 100%. Miss J says, I feel that way about Kylie Jenner. There's always sadness. Yes. There's a sadness behind us. And trust me, people have said that about me because I have doe eyes. But I'm not sad, I'm just thinking. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. But I see what you're saying. Sadness behind the eyes. Like almost like a deadness. But Travis loves the same and can't over humble Taylor. 100%. 100%. It makes perfect sense. Okay. I couldn't agree more. Great. Yeah, so that's what I see. So let's look at her chart. I love this conversation. Wow, guys. It's been so much fun. This is why I thoroughly enjoy coming to these lives because we have such a good time. I really love it. Okay, so Sun is in Sagittarius. Moon is in Cancer, which explains a lot. Rising is in Scorpio. Her North Node is in Aquarius. Interesting. So her North Node in Aquarius tells me that she needs to spend more time thinking less about herself and more about other people. This would be drastic, but something that would help to fulfill this Aquarian North Node, which is the direction that your life should go towards, is her donating some of her money, like really giving it away, living a shallowless life, living a life of money comes and goes. I want to focus on within. Yeah, so now let's look at his chart. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sometimes I say things and they make sense to me, but it might not make sense to other people. So let's see with Harry. I know his chart quite well. Sun in Aquarius, Moon in Libra, rising in Libra. We have almost the identical charts. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's see the energy right now. It's been a while since they've broken up. Like what, 11 years? So let's see the energy. Oh, I just dropped my cup. Hold on. Okay. So Seven of Wands, Ace of Wands, and Three of Cups. I think there's been so much bad press about Taylor that she wants to reach out to exes and say, hey, can you help me? Seven of Wands. Help me with my reputation. Because it actually really does affect her. It's funny because she had that album Reputation, which is what, like 12? No, not 12 years ago. Like 8 years ago, Reputation. 2017. Yeah, 8 years ago. And when she was with Joe, she didn't really care about her reputation, or she made it seem like she didn't. But now she wants to make it seem like she's friends with her exes. And that her exes like her, especially after being booed. Why do you guys think she was booed? And what do you think about the booing? I'm just curious to hear. By the way, happy Pisces season, everybody. Started today. So yeah, she wants to come across like she's friends with them. She wants to give an image. Queen of Cups, Five of Pentacles, and Ten of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, excuse me. Like, wants to come across. I wouldn't even be surprised if she kind of pays them to say that, or she's been bribing them. Just say that they end well. They to be asked on red carpets. How do you feel about Taylor? I love her. She's great. I always have a fond memory about her. Just to be fake. But they're not willing to do it. A lot of people. That's why a lot of people have been silent about Taylor, especially after her being booed. My God. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back. Ooh. Okay, so Teresa says, I get Mama Dearest vibes from Donna Kelsey, 100%. Did when I did a breakdown of Travis Kelsey, right, I saw the mother energy, and I said that the mother pushed him into this. I don't know if you guys remember that. I said that the he's a mama's boy, and I stay away from mama's boys. Completely away. I used to date some of them. If I had a mother like Kris Jenner, I'd be sad too. Oh, why? I mean, she's something else, but why in particular? Okay, no wide hangers. What's that? I agree with you about Brianne. I agree with you, Brianne, about Kris Jenner. Interesting. Why? It's so funny. I still love the Kardashians. And one of my really good friends, I'm not going to say who it is, but she has, well, we're not really good friends anymore. Just not anything bad happened. Just we don't live in the same city anymore. We both used to live in New York, and I used to see her a lot. We just like grew out of contact because I live now in Miami. She lives somewhere else. But she is the daughter of somebody very famous. And I would tell her I love the Kardashians. She never judged me for it, but she grew up in LA. And she would say to me, she wouldn't judge me. She's so sweet. She's a darling. I love her to bits. And she would say to me, I don't find it amusing that everything that has come out about the Kardashians, she would tell me back then, because I'm sure she encountered them growing up. But she never told me that. She was very elusive about her childhood as a daughter to somebody very famous, like an A-lister. And she was always very humble. She's always just very humble, very kind, very wonderful human being. I can't even tell you what a sweetheart she is. But Whenever I tell her, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go home and watch the Kardashians. She wasn't judgmental, but she had seen another side to them, and it's come to the public light. So I just wonder what other people have seen about Kris Jenner that maybe I haven't seen, or because I still love the Kardashians, but now that the more fake they become, I feel like they've become just so fake. Like summertime, I used to stay home and watch the Kardashians. I watch E Network over and over. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back and watch. She says, yes, so Gwendolyn. I think that she was booed because people are tired of her being in the NFL. I think, yeah, 100%. I think it's a combination of things. And the Justin Baldoni thing, too. I think she was booed because Eagle fans are known for that. They're just tired of seeing her so much. Oh, so they're known for booing? Interesting. You know where she was booed? It reminds me of Mean Girls. I don't know if you guys ever saw Mean Girls, but when in Mean Girls things start happening to Regina George, she's like, me? How is it happening to me? You know? It's like because you're human and your karma's coming. And I don't mean that about Taylor Swift because I do really like her music. I just think that she is very manipulative and she needs to make peace with things she's done to people. I think she was booed because she's originally from PA. Oh, she is, and was an Eagles fan. The Eagles fan booed her because they saw it as a traitor. I never thought about that. She is from Pennsylvania, but she was born in Tennessee, right? I remember I had a friend from Pennsylvania, not a friend, excuse me, a colleague, and he was from Pennsylvania. He really didn't like Taylor Swift, and he said, "Now that you're telling me that, I remember him telling me she's a traitor. She forgot her roots." And stuff like that. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. No Wyatt Hangers is a famous line in the movie Mommy Dearest. I never saw Mommy Dearest. What is it about? Honestly, I'm kind of afraid to watch mommy issues movies and stuff like that because I've had them. Had a lot of mother issues that I've had to work through. So it kind of triggers me when I see stuff. See stuff like that because memories from my childhood comes back and I don't want to be reminded of that. So if it's not too psychologically warping, I might watch it. Please do a separate video on Harry Styles music. Thanks. I will definitely. I'll do it very soon. Brian Peterson says Kris Jenner seems to be a very selfish stage mom to be. She doesn't seem to love her children. Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I grew up. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but I do not have. I still don't have the best relationship with my mother. So even though I understand she did the best she could, sometimes people are just not healthy for you. And especially mother-daughter relationships are very volatile. They're very sensitive. People will say the mother's supposed to love you the most, and sometimes your mother can do the most harm a person can ever do to you. So it's tough. It's really tough. I can see that though. I can see that though. And some people are just incapable of genuinely loving another person. I've had to acknowledge that. Google says she was born in PA. Interesting. So then, where do I see she was born in Tennessee? I saw somewhere earlier she was born in Tennessee. You're right. It does say Pennsylvania, but I saw something about Tennessee. Maybe she lived in Tennessee. But I saw some connection to Tennessee, and I was like, that's interesting because she's definitely not Tennessee anymore. But I can see that. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Jane. I had the same type of relationship with my mother. She passed on, so I hope she's at peace. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, and it actually makes me sad sometimes when I think about it because, people, this is personal, but, when I wasn't really bullied growing up, I had people like try to bully me and I'd bully them right back. But my biggest bully in life was my mother, and I've never publicly said that, but that's really how I felt when she was horrible to me. But I know it was just an extension of how she felt about herself. And through years of therapy, I've had to no longer speak to her because that energy in my life I cannot deal with. Um, but it's hard to come to terms with that your mother would want to do something so bad to you, but it's an extension of how they treat themselves. So yeah, that's what I also had to realize, that it's not just black and white. It's like, okay, this person, I can understand where they come from, um, but I have to do what's best for me, you know. People don't understand it because they're like, that's your mother. How can you treat her? How can you just isolate her after she birthed you and she did that, she did this? And you have every right, everyone has every right to take care of themselves first. And nobody should ever be guilted to no longer having somebody in their life. Mommy Dearest is about Joan Crawford and her adopted daughter relationship. She was abusive. Interesting. Who's Joan Crawford? Because I'm telling you, I'm the worst at stuff like this. Thank you for. um, oh, you see, I don't really follow a lot of old Hollywood. Um, you know what I feel like it's like this? Mia Farrow. I really believe Mia Farrow is, and she's also sometimes Aquarius. You know, I'm an son of Aquarius. I was raised by an Aquarius, and Mia Farrow is an Aquarius. Sometimes Sun and Aquarius can be very, very mean, very bully type. I saw the movie and it didn't like it. It was sad. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't feel like being sad. I sometimes do set aside time for that, but I'm like, my situation alone, it made me sad enough. I don't want to revisit that, but maybe I'll watch it. Oh yeah, so Taylor Swift convinced her family to move to Nashville when she was 16, when she was 14. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, thank you. Because I saw Tennessee there when I was doing that. Yes, Goodness says yes, and you have to protect your peace 100%. And it's, sometimes people don't understand it, but it is what it is. I've never publicly admitted that, but that's how I feel because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. I don't believe in using public platforms to like insult people, but that is my experience, and yeah, that's why. Like I said, I was never really bullied growing up. I had people try, and I was like, I'd bully them right back or defend myself. But parents, and I just hope parents know and understand. That's why I've waited so long to have children. Parents can be children's enemy and be the worst thing to ever happen to a child and not even realize it. And a child can spend their lives really healing from that and not understanding. I took it very personally before, but now I understand it was never personal. Never personal. Takes a long time to get to that point. So I understand what you're saying about Christian. I do, because I don't want to get too much into the issues that I had, or I have growing up. I had growing up, but um, but it happens a lot in Hollywood. Honestly, a lot of entertainer parents. Like I met Jake Gyllenhaal's mother. I don't know if I told you guys the story. I think I might have mentioned it in a video that I did of Jake Gyllenhaal. But Jake Gyllenhaal's mother used to come to an old job that I had in Tribeca. I'm not gonna say what restaurant because I still go there when I go to New York. I always go to see my old boss. And there was a Chanel party, after party for the Tribeca Film Festival, and she came, and I didn't recognize her because every time she came to the restaurant, she always had sunglasses on, and she would try to order something off the menu that we didn't have, and she was just very like high demanding. And then I saw her at the Chanel party, and she was like, "Hi," and I was like, "Who's this?" My boss was standing right next to me, like both of us were like, "Who's this?" She gave a big hug, and she was like, "It's Naomi," and I was like, "Who is Naomi?" I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh," and then it clicked that it was her, and I just saw. Then she was like sucking up to Emma Thurman. She was sucking up to all these celebrities, and it was just interesting. I kind of understood. I don't want to put words in people's mouths or experiences, But I understood why Jake Gyllenhaal has this. He has the same eyes, like the sadness. Like if your mother's like that, imagine, you know, she's very sad. So yeah, we all have our family issues. That's why I waited to have children because I didn't want to do to my kids what it was done to me. I wanted to heal from that, and I'm glad that I waited. Okay, so I'm about to end this live. Thank you, everybody. I had so much fun. This was really, really lots of fun. Um, really lovely. I enjoyed this so much. I'll be back again next week, and yeah, we'll do. I'm taking suggestions. What would you guys like me to do next week? You can tell me now before I end this. I'm about to do my dance workouts. I'm really excited. I've discovered these dance workouts and I'll write it for you. It's called Grow with Jode and I love her workouts. And then I do Pilates, so it's called Grow with Joe. And yeah, it's just lots of fun. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna edit some videos for you guys. So it's ready for you tomorrow. And what else? Yeah, does anybody have any suggestions for next week's live? I might do famous exes and do Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds. I actually met Scarlett Johansson's husband, Colin Jost, at a place I used to work at in the West Village, and I didn't get good vibes from him. He seemed like Hollywood pompous. I was surprised, honestly, but that's just my opinion. What line do you think Taylor and Travis will finally break up for good? It's coming soon. It's 100% coming soon. But it keeps being delayed because of the public's backlash and stuff like that. But I think Travis has tried to leave it before, but something happened. Um, she wanted to release another album. She wants the protection he gives her for as long as possible. Did you see SNL 50th anniversary Day Silver walked red carpet? That couple scene, so this is the thing I predicted. I don't know if you remember this, but I predicted Jason Momoa would end up with another actress. I don't know if you saw that. She would be not a well-known actress. Let's look at a picture really quickly. Her name's Adria Arjona. Is it Arjona? She's Spanish? Oh, mi amor. Yeah, she's Spanish. Well, she kind of looks like Lisa Bonet. Interesting. Oh, what was she in? She looks familiar. Adria. Where is she from? She's pretty. She looks like Lisa Bonet, though. Let me share it. Sorry. Yeah, it does seem to fit as a couple. Yeah, she seems I get good vibes. I did say she's going to be younger. I described her. I saw her with dark hair. Um, I saw her with dark hair being similar. I said she looks kind of like Lisa Bonet. Let me see. Happy birthday. Isn't he a Leo? Oh, so she said, yeah, Adria. Where's she from? Do you guys know anything? Arjona. Oh, Puerto Rico. Okay, she's very pretty. I need to go to Puerto Rico, guys. She's from San Juan. Okay. I really, really need to go. That's on my. Oh, with Glenn Powell. Yeah. I remember seeing her. I didn't realize she's Puerto Rican. Oh, she was raised in Mexico City. I thought she was Mexican. Yeah. Torres. Yeah. I thought she was Mexican. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Good for her. She seems so sweet, and I get good vibes. But yeah, I'll do an update about them soon. Yes, it does seem to feel a couple 100% sweet girl. A lot of fans say she looks like Lisa and Jason. 100% she does. Oh, their daughter that she has. I forget that they have kids. It's kind of weird. A little creepy. But yeah, she seems sweet. I love Puerto Ricans as a culture in general. That's one of my favorite parts about New York. And I need to go to Puerto Rico, especially San Juan. It's on the top of my list. I want to go to Mexico, Puerto Rico, India um, soon. I want to do like, I've traveled a lot, but I want to travel more. But yeah, she seems very sweet. I'll do something about them. Does anybody else have any requests? Thank you for that request, by the way. I'll definitely do that. She is Ricardo Arjona's daughter, Latina singer. See, okay, interesting. What ethnicity are you, if I may ask? What heritage are you, Barry? If you want to say, if you feel like saying. I didn't, obviously, I grew up in England and South Africa. I feel such a connection to Spanish. I speak fluent Spanish. I learned Spanish in school. And in school, I had a Spanish tutor, right? People would ask me all the time, they're like, why do you want to learn Spanish? And now living in Miami, I speak more Spanish than I do English. So it's just very, at work, that's mostly what I speak. And interactions with people, I speak way more Spanish than English. So it's just like, I wanted to learn Spanish because I have a deep love for Spanish. And so I never really got to, other than Shakira, um, that was the point of my story. Sorry. Sometimes I just go on a tangent. I have to remind myself to rein it in. But other than Shakira, who else? Alejandro Rao. I don't really know a lot of Latino singers, Latina or Latino singers. So yeah, it's nice to. I know mostly from like Spain singers, stuff like that. Because England has a lot of Spaniards, and that's how I learned Spanish in England. I learned Spanish at school. Oh, you're Colombian. I love Colombia. Oh my god. Well, that's on my bucket list too. I love Colombian people. Really, really love. Really kind, generous, funny people. Colombian people are so funny. Um, really, really, I love Colombia and Mexicans. I love Mexican culture. I feel like I have this connection. That's why I need to go. I need to go to Mexico. But in school, I had to learn a lot about Mexican culture, and I learned a lot about like El Dia de los Muertos, stuff like that. So I have actually some skulls in my house that I love. So I don't know who. Let me look it up. Actually, is he also Puerto Rican? Oh, he's Guatemalan. Oh, so my boss was showing me a picture of him the other day. Okay, because we have someone at our job that is from Guatemala, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Ricardo Arjona." And I was like, "Who's that?" And he showed me a picture. Wow, that's really funny. How life fuiste tú, mujer, dime que no. Okay, señora de la cuarto. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. So yeah, guys, I'm about to end this live. Does anybody have any more suggestions for next week's live? Otherwise, feel free to write them in the comment section. This has been really so fun, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of it. Like I said, I'm going to start editing, and I should be done tomorrow. I have to go to a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, so I'll have it by 8 p.m. tomorrow night. He is like Alejandro Sanz. Okay, yeah, I know Alejandro Sanz. Singer songwriter. Okay, cool. Really cool. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, I'm going to love and leave you all. I've actually thought about doing more Latino artists, um, and so forth. So please, if you have any recommendations, also Bollywood actresses, artists, singers, because a lot of my channel is watched in India. A lot of my followers are from Indian heritage. So if you are of Indian heritage and you have any suggestions, I would really appreciate that. Kim, K, and Pete. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Thank you. I'm gonna write that down right now. I was gonna do Ray J. A reading on Lawson. You mean Liam? Can't believe Liam Payne passed on. It's crazy. Oh, yeah, it was great. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. I really appreciate that. Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah, next week I'll do Kim K and Pete. Yeah, with Ray J. I was gonna do Ray J, and then I was like, Ray J's not sure about if you read. I have. I don't know if you. I know you remember, but did you see I do a special reading for members where I pick up energies and I see what happened to them. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna do a little post for members tomorrow and ask for suggestions on what, like John Bonet, what happened to her, what happened to this person, that kind of thing, like mystery. We're gonna solve mysteries through tarot. So yeah, just let me know. Okay, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for joining. Please make sure everybody liked it. Please like, subscribe and share. Helps me a lot, a lot. And yeah, I'm really excited, everybody. Thank you for joining. I say this all the time. I love doing this. You know, YouTube really doesn't pay me that much for this, but this platform has really, I can't describe to you how much I've appreciated this, being able to do tarot, sharing my lessons. You know, I have a blog. I don't know if you know this. I have a blog. If you go on my Instagram, there's a link. I have a blog that I share about life stories. And I used to write for a magazine. So I've always been like a good writer, quote unquote. But speaking to people, even though I was in debate and oratory, has never come easy for me. But I had to really learn to like hone things in when I started this channel. It's all fuzzy and my camera sucked. So thank you for those of you who have been patient and stuck around and didn't criticize me or what mean to me, but supported me. I really appreciate that. And thank you for all of those that are subscribers, that are members, that have ever sent me any kind of super chat like the video. I'm very grateful. Okay, Liam Payne, reading if you do a reading like that. I know it's quite sensitive and fresh. So yeah, so let me wait. I don't really do readings for people that have passed on. So I think it kind of awakens the beast. But I'll think about it and I will definitely let you know. Okay guys, I have to get to my dance. I want to start at 9. Let's hope I can start at 9. My dance workout. But yeah, this has been so fun. I love you all. Thank you everybody for everything. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for liking. I'll be back next week around the same time. I don't have any big trips. I have a trip coming in May, so I should be able to stay consistent with the channel. But yeah, May, the week after Cinco, no, nothing. Because I don't want to let people know exactly where I'll be. I'm so bad at that. But yeah. Bye, everybody. Love you all. Take care. See you soon.